Okay, Sheila, this is so cute.
Oh, well, Halloween.
I love this one. So a friend of mine no longer cuts hair, but she's has cut my hair the best that I've ever had anybody cut it. I'm always happy with it. So she said she'd come do it when I got it cut short a couple weeks ago, so that way it would be where it should be. And she said somebody else can follow it. Well, while she was over here, she saw um, another spider quilt. I don't know if it was mine or Hannah Whitehead's, but and she just fell in love with it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, and was like, "How much would you charge to make one of those?" I said, "I'll trade you some haircuts." So I'm making this. She wanted it, and she wanted the spider pink and the background black for her middle daughter. The original pattern is like 53 by 59 or something like that, which is an odd size. And so I enlarged the entire size to like 57 by 75. So it's more of a throw size, and it's a much better size. It's not so awkward. And really all you have to do is figure out how much you need to add on each side. It's solid fabric, but you still need the spider to be in the correct spot. So you have to figure out how much to add to make him look right on the quilt. So it wasn't bad to make the adjustment, but so this is a large lap. And then when I did, I asked her, I said, "Well, what do you think about pink thread on the background?" And she's like, "Well, you know what looks good." And I'm like, "I love this. I'll do this in multiple colors. I can see it in a teal blue, a green, a red and black for UGA, be a UGA spider." I'm kind of all about this spider right now. So
Now, this is one of Lo
I
and
still
Behold's patterns. Is that right? Whose pattern is
no,
it?
this is pen and paper.
Okay.
Pen and paper, and she's got a couple cute things. She's got a flower one I want to do, a flower quilt, and I don't know, several others, but this is the jumbo. You have to buy the pattern. The pattern itself is like a bunch of small spiders on the quilt. And then she gives this with the pattern as a quote bonus block, but it's pretty big. I can't remember what the size of it is, but I'm going to guess it like 22 by 24, something like that. And so it comes together fairly quickly.
Mhm.
And it's not bad. The piecing of it is not bad at all. And then you've got all that negative space. And if you choose I have learned that if you choose your fabrics wisely, like, this was a Moda marble. And so there's a little texture to it because it's a Moda marble, but so it's not a solid, but it shows off that quilting really good. So I could even see reversing and using the gray for the background and the black for the long spider web that comes down. So I may try playing with a gray black background too. I think the key is to just contrast your thread color.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I can see a lot
like
more of
that.
these in my future, and I may make some of these to sell because I just think they're adorable.
They're very cute.
So, and I still have to do the binding. That's all I have left. So I'll have it to her before Halloween. But next week, I'm going to Michigan because we had to put my grandmother in a nursing home, which is always sad. But she is 97 and a half, and she's been on her own until now. So that's really, really good. But my mom needs help cleaning out of her apartment out. Her brother lives up there, and he's had the gist of everything, and they just need some help. Well, mom needs help, so I'm going with her. So I'm going to quote lose a whole week of quilting, but I figured out a way to make it somewhat worthwhile in the fact that she doesn't know it, but I'm going to take up a section of the car with a stack of quilts that need to be bound because it's probably around a 12-hour drive one way. So I'm going to be doing lots of binding in the car. So, and this is one of the projects. And then the one behind me, I'm hoping to get it ready to bind before we go to, which means I have to have it done by Friday night because this is the start of it. this is where I was when I left for work this morning, and where it is now, you know, like I showed you before, that is all I have left to put on the board, and then I can start piecing it. And it comes together fairly quickly. I'll get up an hour early before I go to work and work on it. That an hour every day makes a difference, because I'd have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, and then of course evenings. So hopefully I've got my fingers crossed that, you know, it's one of those things where I've probably got barely enough time to do it if nothing goes wrong. So we're hoping for nothing goes wrong. In the meantime, I lost some time because I woke up Monday morning with blood in my urine and have a UTI. So I spent a good bit of the day yesterday dealing with that, and didn't do a whole lot last night because I just didn't feel good. And then this morning I didn't get up early, so I lost that hour because I just didn't feel good. But the antibiotics have kicked in, and I feel much better this afternoon.
That's
So
great.
hopefully
Now,
I'll be back.
Yeah. Are the colors
Hopefully I'll be back.
truer in this color? In
They
this
are.
picture? Okay, so that
Yes,
shows
they
you more the
are.
purple. It looks really blue on behind you.
It does. It does. And then that one that is really super light behind me too. I keep thinking if I point, you can see what I'm looking at, but you can't. So. The lightest one looks white behind me, but on the board it's that lightest. So those are all the colors. Those are all the fabrics that are on the board. And I went with that wave fabric, and it is every other tumbler is this wave, and then every other tumbler is a solid. So except for that one facet, and that was my starting point. And I thought, well, that would be a good, and so I'm kind of making it, as you can see behind me, I mean, it'll go a good bit around. And then that facet fabric is the one that's in the actual center too. So
yeah, that's a great fabric, and really a perfect one for pulling your fabrics for the rest of the quilt. Just being able to use that.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I was thinking it would just kind of pull it all in and tie all of them together, all the shades. So
pretty.
But I'm happy with it. I didn't know how, sometimes you just never know how it's going to be till you get going with it, but I'm happy with it.
Looking good.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we've got tonight, believe it or not.
That's it?
That's it. I kept waiting for more ding dings on my phone, but I didn't get them.
Well, I'm sorry it took me so long to clue in, because I missed whatever you said at the beginning. But our problem is that we have one computer and two people who are trying to teach online. So yeah. I can't count on getting the computer.
Well, Michael has a Zoom meeting that's starting right now, a work thing. And I said to him, I said, okay, if you have trouble, shoot me a text and I'll get off real fast. Because I'm not sure our internet's going to do both of them at the same time either.
Can I ask everybody a question? Because I'm seeing things now about finishing binding on the machine. Are you all still doing the back and hand finishing binding, or are you doing them on machine totally, binding?
I have to do it by hand.
I'm by hand.
You still do? Okay.
Because I've tried it on machine, and it's just kind of iffy whether you're going to catch that back with the machine or not. And I end up having to do half of it by hand anyway. So I might as well just do it all by hand, and it looks better.
Okay. Because I've watched videos and all, but they were always doing small things, on the video, the YouTube.
I do baby quilts and things like that by machine, but anything else I do by hand. But if it's something that's a utilitarian or the charity quilts and things like that, I do those by machine all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, anything for all the charity quilts that I've done the complete finishing, I do those by machine because I figure they're going to be washed and beat up. And if you actually put your binding on from the back and put it to the front and then stitch on the front, it's much easier.
That's what I saw in the video. I haven't tried it yet. Okay.
And also, if you size the binding so that there's more on the front, if the front folds over more than what's on the back, then when you sew along that line, you're not going to hit the binding on the back, but it's just going to look like another line of quilting in the ditch.
Oh, okay.
Because like if you cut your binding 2.5 and are going to do a 3/8 from the back, that that works really well for me. Because I prefer 3/8 to a quarter. Don't ask me why, it just looks better to me.
Okay.
And so rather than cutting the binding down to like 2 1/4, which I would do if I'm doing it to the back, I keep that extra 1/4 inch and that makes it pretty easy.
Okay, that's a good suggestion. Okay.
Jan, I have a video from somebody, I can't remember who it was. I put it on my blog that is about binding, and she's doing it by hand. But I tell you, from doing her video and doing it the way she said, I have got where my corners are almost perfect on my binding, my miters. So
Oh,
I'll
okay.
try to remember to send that to you.
Is this the one where she goes out straight rather than to the corner?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've been playing with that and then go back in and trim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
it's,
get to
I
it.
mean, I used to always clip those corners too, and she said, don't
Yeah.
do that. And that's just been
Oh.
huge.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the
Thank you.
video.
'Cause, yeah, that's what another
Yeah,
thing I need to do better.
shoot me that link too.
Okay. Probably I'll just figure
Yeah,
out
you
where it
might
is
as
on my
well share
blog
it with
and send you
everybody.
that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, if I can get to it on your blog, I can do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Terry?
Okay.
I said, you might as well share it with everybody.
Okay, I'll share it with everybody. We can do that.
Well, instead of going to the corner, I got into, before I actually saw that video, that is the way I finally figured out when you're doing odd angle corners that
Mhm.
aren't right angles, that's about the only way you can get those to lay down is to go straight out rather than trying to angle to a greater than 90 or less than 90.
Mm.
But sometimes
Yeah.
that still doesn't work. Again, that's one of those I get 3 out of 4 will work, and the 4th one goes to heck in a handbasket.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll look that up and send it to you. I keep going away. Sorry about that. I know that's I'm all over the place.
You look
You know what it is?
you look
It's
like
because-
you're from Star Trek.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's because Michael has started his Zoom meeting too. So
Yeah.
we're eating up all the bandwidth that there is here. Well, if there ain't anything else, I guess we will say bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
See-
That's very good to
See
see
you.
you. I'm sorry you've been ill. You're muted. Bye. All right, ladies. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Have a good week.
Bye, everybody.